No, I have not read it yet. And if I do end up reading it, it would have to be on Kindle Unlimited because I can't afford the book. I can't afford it. It's $250. It's so expensive. Why is it so expensive? Does anybody know?
Hello, beautiful people. Let's discuss book stuff. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're not going to talk about something, I don't know. We're going to have a discussion. I don't think it's drama, but there's heightened discussion around this indie author's book and the True Calling series. If you know, you know. I'm talking about The Secret World of Maggie Grey by Granger. Now, let me tell you something. I was intrigued by this book. Okay, it has the best synopsis ever. Let me read it to you. A vampire, a witch, and a siren gets accepted into a magical HBCU. The rest I'm not allowed to say, but just know there's a talking cat named Quan, a few murders that went cold, and a world that is just below our feet. Done. That's the type of synopsis I need almost every book. Don't tell me too much. Tell me just enough to get me hooked. I am immediately intrigued. And apparently this is part of the fantasy genre. I love fantasy. There's been a lot of discussions about this book, and I think this is actually getting non-traditional fantasy readers into the fantasy genre, and I'm very happy about that. And this first book, The Secret World of Maggie Grey, I believe came out in August 2024, with the sequel, The First Family, just came out October 30th or 31st of 2024, and I have already started reading this bad boy. I am so excited to hop into it. In fact, I created a read along on STORYGRAPH. So read along is my favorite thing, pretty much. If you're like me, I'm a mood reader, right? And sometimes I want to read a book, but I don't want to read a book in that month. I don't want to read a book just that second. I'm going to get to it. Trust. Okay. I'm not there yet. So with read alongs on STORYGRAPH, I usually have it for like 3 months. So you can read it at any time. Even if that 3 months is over, to my understanding, you could still join the read along, still participate in the forums. So if you ever felt like, man, I really want to read this book, but the book club is reading it this month, or I can't make it to the live discussion, consider joining my read alongs on STORYGRAPH, and you can always participate in the forums and the discussion along the way. I like doing this even after I'm done reading because it allows me to relive the book and the story again and maybe take on a different perspective. So I already have the read along for the first book on STORYGRAPH. The links will be down below and always in my link tree of my most recent read alongs. I add read alongs like every month, like multiple read alongs every month. So depending on the story you want to read, check me out. I might have a read along for you, and make sure you join. It's totally free. I enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure STORYGRAPH is a Black owned and founded company. So let's get into it. Okay. So with that type of synopsis of The Secret World of Maggie Grey, it captured a lot of people say, I'm intrigued, let's get into it. And I was one of those people. I was one of those people. I love fantasy. I love Black fantasy. And I love that it has like a dark academia aspect with it being an HBCU. I've already started reading it, and it's already really interesting to me. So anyways, I love when there's extra discussion around an indie author, especially a Black indie author, when there's around fantasy reads, when people are getting into fantasy, because I feel like it's such a good genre. I love when there's increased conversations about that. And that's what's been happening only because the price on Amazon was kind of outrageous. Now, I saw this with my own eyes, okay? What had happened was, if you wanted the paperback version of The Secret World of Maggie Grey on Amazon, for some reason, it was over $200. It was, okay? However, you could still read through for free if you had a Kindle Unlimited subscription, or you could buy the ebook outright for $7.99 or $8.99. So there's multiple options to get this book, but if you want a paperback, if you are a physical reader and you really love paperback, if you looked on Amazon, it was going to be $200. Now, let me tell you something. I think ebook is my first choice. Actually, come to realize I love reading by ebook. I love cuddling up with my Kindle at night. I love being able to just hop on my Kindle app if I'm out and about on my Kindle and can read a couple paragraphs. I love it, top tier. Of course, if I love a book, I would love to have a physical book, or sometimes I just want a physical, So I get that. A lot of people are like, just read it on KU, just buy the ebook, whatever. When I first saw the price of the paperback, though, I thought, it's an indie author, self-published. Maybe it's high in demand. Maybe you can't get these copies anywhere. And so if you want one, you're going to have to pay that guap. That's what I thought. And I think that's what a lot of other people thought too as well.
No, I have not read it yet. And if I do end up reading it, it would have to be on Kindle Unlimited because I can't afford the book. I can't afford it. It's $250. It's so expensive. Why is it so expensive? Does anybody know? The book looks amazing, honestly. The concept of the story looks absolutely fantastic. Looks like something that I would like really enjoy, but it's 450 pages, and knowing who I am as a reader, just like knowing the way that I lose interest in things, like that I'm reading, if it's like too long, it might not be for me. I might check it out a little later, but like, I'm not sure, honestly. Please consider this my apology for asking why that book was $250. I genuinely wanted to know. I asked in my Facebook group, nobody knew. So I came here, I asked my community here, and I got some answers, but like the past, I think 2 days, everybody's been like yelling at me for asking, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I asked. I really wanted to know. I could have gone to the author. You're absolutely 100% right. I could have gone to the author. I didn't really think of that. I never even crossed my mind. I only really talk to authors who like I'm already friends with or who reach out to me. So like you're 100% right. I could have gone to the author. That's my fault. I'm sorry that I asked. I also, people are saying like that I lied or that like I made a review. I didn't lie. It said $250 on Amazon. And if you tried to buy it, you would be paying $250. And I just wanted to know why. That was not a review. It was not a review of the book. I have not read the book. I said that. Honestly, if I do read the book, I probably won't talk about it because I'm not welcome in that sphere, and that's okay.
For some reason in the comments, a lot of people are like, yo, just read it on KU, check out the library, buy the ebook, whatever. And other people were like, actually, it's that price because the author wants you to buy from them directly. Here's the problem with a lot of this situation right here that I face personally as someone who was not familiar and just being introduced to Granger, the author. I don't know this author. Okay, I surely do not. I wish I discovered this indie author faster, to tell you the truth, but I don't know this author. So if I Google Granger, The Secret World of Maggie Grey, of course I get the Goodreads, but then I'm translated to ATL Diaries, which is actually the author's URL, atldiaries.com. I get to look at books. I get to look at all this stuff. I see Maggie Grey on there. I see these things. It's not very intuitive though, to be honest. When I first looked at this, I was trying to figure out, how do I buy this book? Like, I was so confused. I went to the book tab. I see the list of books. I'm like, how am I supposed to buy this book? I see her list of books. I don't see how to buy. I see Maggie Grey. Okay, cool. I go there. I'm scrolling. I don't really see where to purchase. Now, maybe she has an option to purchase directly through her certain times, because I think someone commented that she might only sell books like twice a month since she is self-publishing, and she does have different covers for the books, which I think is pretty cool, pretty awesome. Some of the alternate covers for The Secret World of Maggie Grey is fire as hell. Okay. If I love this book, I do want to hunt down one of those covers for sure. And then if you buy directly from her, obviously you also get an autograph copy. If I'm a new reader or just a reader now being introduced to you, I don't know that you're also known as Desiree M. Granger. With a couple of Googles, I can figure that out, but I don't know that. Okay, I'm not aware of that. Also, I don't know intuitively that you want me to buy the book directly from you. I don't know if that was the author's intention, but when I go on Amazon and I see that price and you're an indie author, I immediately think, you can't get this book anywhere else. Maybe she's not printing this book anymore, so the last few copies are a treasure. So if you want it, you have to spend that dough and get it. That's what I thought. I had no idea that I was supposed to hunt down your URL, which is not your author's name. It's not your author's name. It's ATL Diaries. It's kind of not super intuitive when you get on there, like, where am I supposed to go to actually purchase this book? It's not very obvious and apparent for me on there. And also when I look on social media, I don't see a post about that's what she wanted you to do or that was the intention. So me, if I was reading physical books and that was my main source of consuming, I would probably just have to figure out how to read it ebook, because I did not know I was supposed to research and find out why it's $200. I kind of accept that it's $200. Okay. The other story is the author didn't know why it was $200, because as of 2 days ago, it actually decreased to $37. Now people got something to say about that too, because some people are like, $37 is a little steep. Here's my opinion on it. Since it's indie and self-published, I actually don't mind paying that $37. I think, yes, it is more expensive to other indie books that I have purchased, for sure. I don't think I've ever bought a book that was $37. Not indie either. So it is a little bit more steep. However, I feel a lot more comfortable paying a little more for an indie author's book, especially for their craft, through creativity, the signed copy of it, the awesome covers, the amazing story. I am more inclined to pay that for an indie author, because let me tell you, this book cannot be found in my local library. Trust me, I looked. I went to my Libby app. They don't know nothing about this book. They can't tell me nothing about this book. Okay, because that's the first place I went to. Like, no, ma'am. We don't know this book. Okay. So my only options was either have KU, which I don't at the moment, or buy the ebook, because I wasn't going to spend $200. That's what I wasn't going to do. So it went down to $37 either a few days ago or last week at the time of recording this video. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on all of this? It's really not any drama, just more of a discussion. Would you pay $37 for an indie book? I know I would. However, I would like to read it first, I think, before I purchase that book. I don't know, but I think I would still purchase a book for $37 personally, but I understand why people have that hesitation, especially if they're not able to rent it from their library to see if they like it first, things of that nature. Also, why do you think it was $200 on Amazon? Do you think this was something that Amazon just did? I kind of understand that, and I don't know that much about publishing books and behind the scenes. Okay, I just recently learned how Kindle Unlimited works and getting paid per how many pages you read. I just figured that out. But I understand that the profit that you get off of Amazon is probably not that great, especially when it goes through Amazon publishing and they print on demand or whatever they do over there. So do you think that the author really had it at that price to encourage you to buy directly from the author? Because again, where do you say that? Like, on the internet, you have to be very, very obvious. You have to be very, very upfront, because there's a lot of places I found that would have easily had potential buyers drop off, like me. I probably wouldn't have went beyond Amazon. Okay, because Amazon is usually the best price for books that I found. Okay, especially if it's indie, that's kind of where I go. But if you have a URL that's not your author's name, you go in by just your last name, not your first and last name. For this fantasy series, I think that's what this author is trying to do, but that adds a little confusion, because a lot of people might know you as Desiree. I just know you as Granger. I don't know that I'm supposed to look up Desiree Granger. I have to kind of go through this. They want to get on your website. I don't know how to purchase it. I could have sworn that I seen it. I could have sworn that I saw a way to purchase and that it was sold out. For some reason, I can't see it now. I just see a list of books and I see the Maggie Grey thing, which there is a video on. And then your URL is not even your author's name. On the other side of that, when I'm following this indie's author, I come to find out, I think she actually had a discussion. I don't know if it was about the situation or not, but it happened earlier this week. And it was through another Facebook group called The Cafeteria. A lot of these things is like, if you know, you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I saw anything about her Facebook group on her website. I don't think I saw anything about why, please purchase from me directly on her social media. So if that was her intention, I did not see any of that. And as someone who's just being introduced to you, it can be confusing. So it's almost best to just be as very clear and obvious as possible. Needless to say, I bought the ebooks. I bought book 1 and 2. I don't have time for the other shenanigans. Okay. Quite frankly, that's what I did. I have a Kindle. I have the Kindle app on my phone. I just bought the ebooks and went all about my merry way, because again, my library don't know anything about this, and my library really doesn't know anything about any indie books, to be honest. So anyways, so Hold on one second. It is not showing me a way to buy from her directly as of right now, and I could have sworn it did. I don't know if it's because she doesn't sell all the time. I don't know if it's because I need to become a member, but the only thing I know for sure is I see an Amazon icon at the bottom, and that's where I can find her books. So if anything, I feel like I'm more pushed to just buy her ebook rather than the physical book. Now her other paperbacks, I don't know if they were always like this, but her other paperbacks are ranging from $35 to $40, and that is through Amazon. I don't know if just The Secret World of Maggie Grey was the one-off weird one and that got everyone up in a roar, but yeah. So anyways, that is my thoughts on this. Are you planning to read the Drew Cullen series? I know I am. I've already started. I'm excited. I also want to read The Perfect Sister. There's 2 books with that, and that one, the author name is just Desiree. So you see where this kind of confusing. Like I need things explicitly mentioned on your website at least, and I almost wish her URL wasn't ATL Diaries, only because, like, could it be your name? I don't know if for SEO purposes if that would be better for me. It would just be better, more continuity across platforms, because now I have to look up atldiaries.com. Now I have to look up and hopefully I get into the cafeteria on Facebook group. Now some of your books is written by Desiree, and that's fine. Some of your books is written by Granger, which is fine. But I kind of need that information explicitly somewhere. Like, you know, could your URL be Desiree Granger, the author, or something like that? Could that be included in your About Me section where, hey, I write under this pen name for this genre. I'm also known as Granger for the fantasy genre. You know, and as an indie author, it would mean the world to me if you purchase from me directly. Here's my links. I think if it's just more obvious and straightforward, that would be helpful. That would be very helpful. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. I love watching commentary videos, but I don't always want to add my voice to it, because honestly, sometimes I wish people would just shut the fuck up. Like, I feel like people talk too damn much already that I don't want to add to the chaos. But I did want to share this information with you in case you were wondering more information. As far as this recording, that is all I know, okay? I am not a know-it-all. I just got introduced to this author, and I cannot wait to read her works. I've already started. I'm so excited. So make sure that you press like and hit the subscribe button, please. I appreciate it very much. And if you are going to read this book, make sure you join my read along on Storygraph. It is free. And until next time, peace out.